So, did you really think we're going to get through a conference without talking about AI? So we almost did it, but I'm going to break that mold today. So I kind of wanted to talk about a lifeline of my career to today, of the progression of technology and how we are getting there and how we can continue to rise through that as researchers, sourcers, and recruiters. And most of all this is based on my own opinion. So you can either take it or you can leave it. But first, let me just tell you who I am. I'm a currently a sourcing consultant, have been for many years. Also, I've been training organizations and speaking throughout the United States and overseas since 1999. So, as well as most of our panelists here, most 95% of them are my friends. We've been around for quite a long time and have seen a lot of different things through our career transitions through today. Um, Here's a couple of conferences I've spoken at. Um, and then also I'm a graduate of the Sourcing Institute, SourceCon Academy, and also a lifetime member of the Association of Talent Acquisition Professionals. One thing I didn't list here is all the organizations that I worked for, which is many as a consultant. But in the next week and a half or so, you'll see a large announcement about my next career transition. And as most of my friends will be quite surprised of what I'm going to be doing. So I will be announcing that soon. And it's a big step in my career, and I have not done this in a while. So just stay tuned for that. So let's talk about the search engine evolution, and now the AI movement. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of what my thought pattern is and what I've experienced in the past and what I'm experiencing now. So I want to kind of go back in history and time, back during my career, and when the 2004, 2005, 2006 era came along, we had this big thing that kind of happened in the search engine industry. So when I first started back in 1999, we were kind of doing Netscape, Alta Vista, Lycos, Yahoo. Those were kind of the things we were kind of playing with back then. And then all of a sudden, this thing called Google came into our world, and it was pretty fascinating. And also LinkedIn came in as well. So all those things changed as me as a recruiter back then. That how am I going to be not going back into the back of the building to pull paper resumes out of a box, but now use these search engines to understand and how to find people and use it for all these great things. So technology really changed the world, and search engines did. Google did do that. And how did we keep up with that? Um, so I don't know. Hopefully, or you got, I don't know if you guys are seeing this over here, but I don't know for sure. But anyway, so how did I keep up with that? So my thing is you got to keep up by doing mentally keeping up with research and knowledge. And one of the things I used was Wikipedia. It's pretty simple. And people like ourselves were always going in to wiki list and also showing what new things were going. So what happened with Google was this slew of search engines came out. I mean, thousands and almost to a million different search engines came out. And how did we keep up with that? And it was pretty overwhelming. So, it was like it just came so fast, and it kind of slowed down, and it got steady for a while, and then things went away. Well, websites didn't work anymore. And if you've seen me speak in the past, one of the things I really do enjoy in sourcing is this phenomenon of search engines. I just love digging into them and using them and finding all kinds of different results and doing A/B testing and just showing all kinds of stuff. So if you've seen presentations before, that's kind of my go-to thing. I also like reading newsletters from search engine optimization sites. I read news articles, and I kept up with websites. That's how I did it. And then, as we progressed, I saw this thing there back in like 2015. We also talked about it at SourceCon back in 2010, 11, that this thing about artificial intelligence. And so, I'm thinking, this is never going to happen in my lifetime. It's going to happen in my daughter's lifetime. You know, I'm not gonna experience, this whole Star Trek, Star Wars kind of thing. But below and below, in 17, 18, it started coming out. Um, Here comes AI. And so about a year and a half ago, I was like, it's happening. And I didn't really want to accept it, but then I had to accept it because I would not be relevant, and I won't be relevant if I don't do something about this. So in my last two projects, I started kind of integrating AI into my work in my last projects. And, it was kind of, bouncy. It wasn't the greatest thing ever, but, it was kind of fun to play with. And then it was just overwhelming to me, and it still is overwhelming to me. So where I'm going with this today is I'm going to take you into um, how I'm keeping up with AI, which I still not 100%. I don't know anybody is, but I'm going to show you how I do it. And I'm going to talk about the current state of AI, and I'm going to talk about what I'm trying to do with it from a sourcing perspective. So right now, what is a good a current AI uses? And we've all heard this if you've been listening to people talk in the last year and a half. But these things are happening now and they're working. Maybe not 100%, but they will get there. So in the recruiting process, things like research, I use it a lot for research. I mean, so we'll go back, that can be part of sourcing as well, right? So using AI to get faster results in research and feeding that monster to get better data out there in the market. It's great for job descriptions. We know that. Email writing, productivity, and branding. So that is the current state of what's really, really working well. So how do I keep up with this? I'm going to show you. So this is where we get the takeaways. This is what I like doing. So we're going to talk about AI research. So here's 4 different sites that I've kind of chose that I feel like are really, really cool. So AI Multiple is kind of like a website where you can just say, you could put in marketing and it will show you all the AI tools that are associated with marketing. So it's just a way to go out there and kind of look at, see what kind of tools there are, and go look at it and see if you can plug that into your everyday work. The other thing you can go look at is repositories on GitHub. And there's a slew of them. And I found Massima's really, really cool. And he has a slew of them all broken down by category. And I found some great ones that I've been kind of working with and playing with to see where we can go in the sourcing world. So go look at GitHub repositories. There's a lot of people out there really interested in just sharing all this data publicly. One I introduced at SourceCon Seattle back in October was Poe. Poe is now kind of popular. It's a paid site, but it doesn't have to be paid. I use it for looking at what kind of chatbots there are by category. So if you go to the website, it lists, you can say, like I did, helping my wife build a resume right now, what resume tools are out there, and it'll list all the AI bots that are out there that you can use for resume search. And then the last one is AI tools directory. And it's a really cool one too. And I found it, and it's good for more individuals like myself or business owners, bloggers, but you just do the same things you do with AI Multiple, plug in something like, tell me more about food recipes and what bots are associated out there, or what search engines are out there that can be used out there as well. So that's kind of how I'm keeping up in the AI research world. So if there's others out there, put them in the chat. I would love to learn more from other people as well. Whoops. What happened? Hit the wrong button. So, okay, let's talk about AI search engine potentials. So this is where I'm kind of like saying, is AI there yet for us to find people? Well, maybe so, maybe not. So I kind of found 4 that I wanted to try and have been using in the past month or so. And I will show you the results. So we're going to actually go through this real quickly. So the first one I found was a AI bot called Find. And basically it's a AI search tool for developers, which makes it even really cool. So it was pretty interesting that it worked, but when I plug and played it worked pretty well. And I'm going to show you that. The second one is Exa. And basically, it says it can predict the links which will match the meaning of your prompt. So it's pretty smart. I will say, in my own opinion, this one is really, really cool. So hopefully you can go try it, and I'm going to show you that as well. Como is another search engine. I think it's really good for research. When I did it for looking for people, I'm going to show you what it did for me. And I tried to re-enter and do follow-up prompts, and it would not get past to what I'm going to show you. And then the other one is you. I've been talking about you for a couple of years since beta, when it was a search engine. It is a search engine, but it's now becoming an AI model, and it's doing like really crazy cool stuff. And we could do a whole presentation on it. But it's got a great LLM, and I've actually found a lot of people in my last two projects using you. So I highly recommend you as well. So I got 3 minutes. So fine. So basically, I'm going to use the same prompt for all 4 of these, and we'll go through these quickly because I only have 3 minutes. So I wanted to find profiles or resumes of software engineers based in San Francisco with Python, AWS, and Linux experience. Do not include jobs, samples, and examples. So Find's results were pretty good. If you look to the right of the screen on the bottom here, it actually showed me a LinkedIn profile and then another one on hire IT people of a resume guy or girl in San Francisco. I forget what they were. I kind of looked at them, but so it was pretty accurate. And on the left side, it gives me some data, how it went about it and looked at it. So I felt like Find is 70% there. Exa will do the same prompt. I thought it was great because it didn't pull me back LinkedIn profiles. It gave me actual websites of people with their profiles either on Google Docs or their actual own homepage page or their About Me page. I thought it was pretty accurate. So Exa is like highly recommended, and I would give that like a 90%. Como, here we go. Como, I'll do the same prompt. And I said it failed because if you look to the right of the screen, it gave me examples. If you look to the left of the screen up here, it's all examples. I prompted it to say, please do not give me examples or samples, and it still did it. So I'm going to give Como like 0 right now. But for research, it's a really, really good site. So I really want to give some negative and positive examples in here. And then the last one is you. You keeps changing their UI, so I can't really explain everything, but they got all these different things in there, but we'll just go with the same prompt. And on the top of the price, you can see where I went to TopTool, mainly is where they pulled a lot of the profiles that I needed. As you can see, Nigel Chang here, and then it pulled down here as well, other things as well. So that's just kind of like a quick search on some prompting and using natural language search and not Boolean. So that's kind of where I really want AI to go and find people's stuff. So if you want to reach out to me, if you want to take a screenshot, this is my contact information.